I think about it all the time.
It's this feeling of just anger and outrage over how it happened.
Tonight, a community heals.
We are Highland Park.
We walk this journey as a community. We walk it together, and we heal together.
1 year after tragedy struck the city's 4th of July parade,
we do owe it to those families, to keep having this conversation and to not forget.
Highland Park remembers and grows stronger.
If the impossible happened of something so bad, then I think something so great can also happen.
Moving forward together.
We are so many things beyond this tragedy. This doesn't define who we are as a community.
Good evening. Great to have you with us tonight. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Sargent. Tonight we are live in Highland Park as this community prepares for the one-year remembrance of the shooting that killed 7 people and injured dozens more.
The hope is that by reclaiming the town and its parade route as well, the city can continue its journey to heal. The 4th of July parade has been a staple in this community for more than 50 years, bringing generations of families to the town's main square.
A scene that was shattered last 4th of July. This year, a memorial and moment of silence will be held for the victims. Katie Goldstein, Irina McCarthy and her husband Kevin, Jackie Love Sundime, Stephen Strauss, Nicholas Toledo, and Eduardo Uvaldo. In the days and weeks after the shooting, we shared their stories and survivor struggles.
Now, 1 year later, as they move forward, it's important to remember and reflect. I recently sat down with the police chief, the fire chief, and the hospital administrator who coordinated the response that day last year, and that's where we start tonight.
Starting off as a really beautiful July 4th morning.
Usually it's a peaceful parade, but I noticed the police officer cocked his head and listened to his radio and did a second take, and then suddenly I saw him throw his water bottle, turn around and run full speed back towards downtown.
I was with my family just a couple of minutes earlier. I said my goodbyes to them because I had something to attend to, and kind of started walking towards City Hall when I did hear what I knew was unmistakably gunfire.
So I remember getting a phone call from one of my team members to say, Gabrielle, we have a person at that point who's walked into the hospital with a gunshot wound. 2 minutes later, I get another phone call that says, we have 2 or 3.
When you find yourself thinking about what happened, is there one incident, one person, one thing that haunts you?
Yes. There was one patient whose hearing aids I had to keep, and I had to keep his belongings in a bag for the FBI, and his hearing aids were putting off a really high-pitched noise, and I had nightmares about that probably for a week because it was such a distinctive, piercing sound, and I couldn't get it out of my mind, and so whenever I hear a pitch like that, it brings me back to that place, but that's the moment, that is something that replays in my mind often.
Did he survive?
He did not.
You weren't able to give him his hearing aids back?
No, we had to give his hearing aids to his family.
Nobody that got hired in Highland Park thinks they'll be a combat medic. That day it felt like we were. It felt like we were at war.
Can you talk about how the community responded and how everyone responded?
Everybody really did work collectively in this, and it was something to see. Again, people working shoulder to shoulder.
Shortly after the incident, we actually asked other towns to come and cover our stations so that way we could be there for each other and walk through some of the pains and debrief that we experienced that day. And those offers have continued to be there.
I also think about the strength and resilience of my team at Highland Park Hospital, the strength and resilience of Lou and Joe's teams, and how we came together as a collective community and saved people's lives that day.
How do you prepare for that?
No, unfortunately, the threat's been real for a while. As far as active shooters situations, it's not foreign to our narrative. So we always planned just in case, you know, and we did rescue task force drills together with our PD. So,
Lou, I'm sure you've been contacted by a lot of departments now that you have this unfortunate experience. What do you tell people as far as training?
Absolutely, training is key, you know, to you navigating and successfully mitigating any type of instance like this. And for us, certainly, we've benefited from those poor communities that have gone before us. So, you know, each and every time something like this happens, there are takeaways, there are lessons to be learned, and we've tried to make sure that we've opened ourselves up to those lessons, you know, as these things have happened across the country. And our hope is to pay that forward, that anything that we were able to share or are able to share with communities going forward, that they too will be able to take something, you know, away.
Gabrielle, someone calls you in your similar position in another city and says, what's the most important thing I need to know? What do you tell them?
That being in public service and being in healthcare is a calling, and we have a responsibility to do whatever we can to support our communities and one another, and that the team that's around you will absolutely rise to the occasion.
Yeah, the strongest steel goes through the hottest fire. So there's no doubt that our community enduring this together and processing it together and moving forward together has made the community stronger. I mean, there were people that were huddled together that they never knew, you know, in the basements of stores in our business district for hours and hours. There were business owners that took in people, you know, and locked the door and protected them. So, yeah, it's a special place. It really is, and it's unfortunate that these circumstances have happened. But to watch and see how uplifting it is for everybody to pull together, that has been, you know, that's been meaningful.
I was so impressed with all three of them. You heard the emotion in all of their voices and
Yes.
shared some very personal stories. They did talk a lot about the importance of training, and that's how they were able to react despite the chaos that was happening around them last year. They also said it was important that these relationships were in place beforehand. They've been out on ride-alongs together.
Right.
They'd been in meetings together. As the hospital administrator, Gabriella, there said, this was not the first day we had met. And they said that was also critical to how they all came together and played a role in their response.
It's a situation you never want to be in, but when you are prepared.
Right, and they were.
Well, just across the street from where we are, the Rose Garden, now a temporary memorial and a place of reflection for the 7 victims. 88-year-old Stephen Strauss went to the parade every year. His son told our Charlie DeMar it was the suddenness of his father's death that's been challenging to overcome.
You know, loved ones can just disappear suddenly, you know, can just decease suddenly, but this was different, obviously. That's been the hardest part, is just this feeling of just anger and outrage over, you know, how it happened, and there isn't a day that goes by where I'm not kind of dwelling on just the fact that he was, you know, the victim of a horrible crime and our family was violated.
Among the survivors, Mike and Marcia Moran. Their daughter was getting ready to leave for college, actually, last year when she got the call that her parents had been shot.
She wrote a letter to the community about fear, anxiety, and change. That started the family's first chapter towards closure. CBS News' Marissa Perlman sat down with them to talk about what has changed in the past year.
Almost 1 year ago, in this very same park, in the days after the Highland Park parade shooting, we sat down with the Moran family. Mike and Marcia Moran had just been shot. Their kids had stayed home from the Highland Park parade for the very first time. The family would never be the same. They say 1 year later, they're now focusing their energy on moving forward.
Strength is what we gain from the madness we survive.
This tattoo, it's how Marcia Moran chose to honor the mass shooting she survived in the last weeks leading up to July 4th this year.
Does it feel like what happened here is madness?
It is. I feel like it's unexplainable. It's madness. Yeah, it's not logical.
The ink just inches from the same spot on her foot where she was shot. Her husband Mike was also shot in the leg. They were sitting on a bench and, like many, were forced to run.
I couldn't logically explain what had happened or how fortunate we were to have survived it.
Her daughter Peyton, back from her first year at college, she says she's forever changed. After getting the call last year, her parents were hurt.
Even still, like, going through town, it kind of is like a little creepy, like seeing where it happened, and like I don't think like I'll still ever like feel like truly 100% safe again.
She penned this letter to her community about her worst day. It's been seen thousands of times. She wrote about always looking for exits, now her accepted reality.
I think I still do, and I think it's something I'm just always gonna do, as like being more like prepared, or like trying to like keep myself safe.
Marcia and Peyton show their matching 444 tattoos, another way they say they feel safe. Tattoos they got together after the shooting and before Peyton left for college. The numbers, a symbol of protection.
You have protection like over you.
Marcia admits 1 year later, her coping skills are different than most.
For me, I like to say, you know, I was a victim that day, but I'm not a victim. As soon as they opened up the area of where it happened, I was down there that day. I went down there, I sat with my husband where we sat, I retraced our steps. Because for me, it was really important to just get back in it and to face it and not let it be something that took control of my life.
She says facing her fears has given her back some control.
I look at it as this is one event in my life. I've had other things happen in my life, and I shall, I'll move forward.
And Peyton, too.
I don't want to live in fear because of any of this.
Finding strength in the madness.
As if the impossible happened of something so bad, then I think something so great can also happen.
Well, everyone, of course, heals differently, but we thank Peyton and her mother for sharing what's worked for them.
Everyone's in a different place.
Yes.
We talked about that earlier today, and we'll see how it goes on Tuesday. But, the city understands that not everyone is in the same place right now.
Right.
So it's going to be an important part of the healing on Tuesday. One of the victims we've all watched heal over the last year is Cooper Roberts. He, of course, was left paralyzed by the shooting, which also injured his mother and twin brother, Luke. Cooper and Luke just celebrated their 9th birthdays this week and actually just finished 3rd grade as well. Congratulations to them. Their mother says Cooper has taken up swimming and is tackling life head on.
I hope that I am able to instill in them that no one gets to break us. No one gets to break them. That they own they're happy and they own their joy.
Wow. So the family's now building a new home that's fully accessible for Cooper. And I know he also got to meet Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears recently, who were kind enough to provide him with a specialized wheelchair. Our best certainly to the Roberts family.
So great to see so many people supporting, rallying around them. Well, survivors bear physical and emotional pain. And once again, this community has shown its strength and resilience to help them move forward.
If you've seen one mass casualty, you've seen one. Every mass casualty that happens across the country is unique in certain ways.
As Highland Park police and firefighters rushed to the July 4th parade shooting scene, the call for help went out to emergency teams around the state and across the country. And they responded, bringing their own special set of skills to help the victims.
It is a huge collaborative effort.
The FBI is known for its role investigating crimes like this, but the Bureau's victims response team also played a key role in the days and weeks after.
I think that the victim services being in existence is a surprise for a lot of people.
The team created a family assistance center where victims could get all the help they needed under one roof. At Highland Park High School, victims could connect with crisis counselors and mental health resources, get help from the Red Cross, be reunited with lost property. It was a safe space for law enforcement interviews with the youngest victims.
We had a line out the door. Over those 2 weeks that we were there, we made almost 1,600 contacts with individuals.
Another important partner, the United Way of Lake County, which offered its 211 hotline to connect survivors with resources.
It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
What were some of the biggest needs that you were finding when these victims, in this unspeakable moment, are saying, I need help?
Absolutely, mental health services was the biggest and number one. Whether you were actually hurt in the incident yourself, a family member, a neighbor, or someone that was attending the 4th of July parade, you know that you would have some type of issue and concern.
Victims also called in asking for help finding jobs since businesses in the center of town were closed. Many needed assistance with housing, utilities, and food.
People do express that I didn't know what to do, and you were my lifeline. You connected me with things that I didn't even know that I needed, or you helped me to find services that I wasn't aware that existed.
By design, the Family Assistance Center closed 2 weeks after the shooting, but the help didn't stop there.
Are there still people reaching out?
Absolutely. We were told whatever you start, be prepared to do over the course of the next 3 years, because it takes time, that ripple effect, before people really say, I need help, or this is still bothering me, or I still have needs. Where do I go? I'm ready to ask for help now.
It's a transition Tennille Pereira in Las Vegas knows well. In 2017, after a gunman opened fire from a hotel window overlooking a concert killing 61 people, she created the Vegas Strong Resiliency Center. It's still open nearly 6 years later. Illinois officials reached out to Pereira's team for help forming one in Highland Park.
The community is really looking for a leader in a response like this and, hopeful messaging. So, we kind of provided some perspective on that.
And what did you see in Highland Park?
A lot of people were reaching out that necessarily weren't even at the parade. The ripples really went through the local community there, which I think makes a lot of sense because it was a community event that any one of them could have been at. It's one of those 4th of July celebrations, like what could be more American? I always try and bring a message of hope that healing can and will happen.
City leaders say they'll be leaning into the community's strength this 4th of July as they take back their parade route on Tuesday. They're not having a traditional parade. Instead, it will be a community walk. Dozens of crisis counselors will be on hand.
We talk a lot about resilience. That's a word we've heard a lot here in Highland Park. The mayor perhaps said it best when she said Highland Park is so much more than this tragedy, and we've certainly witnessed that as we've talked with several first responders. In fact, here's more from the police and fire chiefs about their journey to heal next week.
Chief, will it be difficult, do you think, for the community to do this again on the 4th of July, or do you think it will be in some way beneficial?
Our hope is, we want to put ourselves in a position to help people find their path forward and to be able to move forward in any way they can. And so I know the city's really putting a lot of work and energy into designing July 4th this year to do that, knowing that not everybody's going to be in the same place.
I found it interesting that my wife was actually just made the assumption when I asked, are you coming on the 4th? And she says, yeah, absolutely. My whole family was in that parade, and I know they felt the trauma of it, and they saw things that day that I never want them to see again.
After the walk, there will be a picnic, concert, and also a drone light show instead of fireworks.
And there will be some special guests providing a bit of comfort throughout the day. The Lutheran Charities Comfort Dogs were here giving support shortly after the shooting, and they'll be back this Tuesday. Joining us now is Reverend Chris Singer, President and CEO of Lutheran Church Charities, and Jenny Hoffmeyer with her dog, Tobias. Jenny, it seems your teams are responding to more and more crises every year. And this area, you're from it, the first to respond, one of the first in Highland Park. So what was it like to walk that journey with the community?
It was different because it was close to us, but it was very easy to mobilize. I was at a July 4th party. Somebody received the information that there was a shooting, and I contacted my team. I said, we're going to be there if they need us for as long as they need us.
Reverend, I'd never heard of dog ministry. It's an interesting turn of phrase, but you have this ministry set up in 27 different states.
Yeah, we have 130 teams in 27 states with the focus of being there when tragedy and crisis happens to bring comfort. And that's exactly what these dogs do.
And you were just in Uvalde too, I know, right?
We were just there at the 1 year remembrance because one of the things we have found in this ministry is that we build relationships in these places that we go. And so they invited us back for the 1 year remembrance, just similar to what they're going to do here in Highland Park.
Well, even just in the few minutes that we've been able to spend with you and Tobias, I know it's given us something, so I can only imagine people in some of their worst moments being able to pull that comfort from them. So thank you both for the work that you do and for joining us.
Well, security will definitely be top of mind for everyone coming up on Tuesday here in Highland Park. Pre-registration is actually required. There will be metal detectors, bag checks, certainly a lot of new changes implemented as a result.
Yes, long before the tragedy here, Highland Park Mayor Nancy Rotering made it her mission to try and keep people in this city and others safe, starting with the passing of an ordinance in 2013 banning assault weapons in large capacity magazines.
As somebody who grew up in this community, who marched in that parade as a Brownie, as a Girl Scout, as a parent, as a soccer coach, as a city council member, and now as the mayor, my feeling is every community needs to be safe from these weapons.
And within hours of the 4th of July shooting, new seeds of change were planted with survivors, residents, and lawmakers. And over the last year, they've sprouted into measurable transformations at the state level.
CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey shows us the assault weapons ban was the most notable and most controversial, certainly, change that was spurred by the mass shooting. But there have been other updates, and there will likely be more to come.
They sounded like fireworks, but they sounded very close.
Lauren Bennett attended the parade with her husband, 2 youngest sons, parents, and in-laws.
I felt something sharp and precise in my lower half of my body, around my hip and lower back, and I looked down and I was bleeding profusely.
She was shot twice. A few blocks away, State Rep Bob Morgan was there with his wife and 2 little kids.
It took a while for my brain to process what was happening, but my children were right behind me. So as soon as that happened, I immediately reached behind me to make sure I could feel them.
Both tell me that within moments of the shooting,
you assume that this is it, it's over. But then something kind of sparked inside of me and I said, no, this is not how I'm going out.
They were looking forward.
Why am I here? How did this happen? Who is responsible?
We had the same question, and the first major change came just 2 weeks after the shooting. Illinois State Police changed the way officers would be able to consider historic, clear and present danger filings from law enforcement when reviewing future FOID applications.
I assumed I was a target.
Then in September, Highland Park survivors like Bennett took it a step further, filing multiple lawsuits, accusing the gun manufacturer, Smith & Wesson, distributor, retailer, the alleged shooter, and his father of responsibility for the mass shooting.
The shooter was a shill for Smith & Wesson's marketing and advertising policy.
They also claim that Bud's gun shop and Red Dot Arms allowed the gunman to obtain his weapons despite a ban on such guns in Highland Park and Highwood.
I felt it was important. It was necessary to call for full accountability for the marketing, the distributing, the selling of that type of weapon to that type of person.
That litigation is ongoing. The change that took the longest amount of time and is still being challenged in court, a statewide assault weapons ban. The gunman in this case used an AR-15 style weapon, firing 83 rounds in less than a minute.
It wasn't really a choice because that's what everybody wanted to see, that no other community would go through what they were going through.
Wow, so that day this conversation started happening.
That's right.
We have never been more close than we are literally right now.
Rep Bob Morgan, accompanied by other local leaders and busloads of Illinois residents, many from Highland Park, began to rally in support of a bill that would ban assault-style weapons and high-capacity magazines.
I'm glad we're here because we're showing people the residual trauma.
On January 10th, Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Protect Illinois Communities Act into law. It was met almost immediately with lawsuits at the state and federal level.
I heard from a lot of people that really believed this was just a pure right being taken from them, and it also led to some direct threats against me, against my family. We got some direct death threats to my office and to my home. And in some ways, I looked at that as an indication that what we were trying to do really mattered, that it was so real and so pressing that people really were reacting to it positively and negatively.
Those battles are very much ongoing as this community reaches the 1-year mark of the tragedy. Both Bennett and Rep. Morgan say they're proud of the work they've done so far, but tell me it's just the beginning.
I will show up, and I feel a lot of people feel that way.
Now, there are still issues on the horizon, so what's next? Morgan and Bennett are hoping that they're both hoping to support increased red flag law education and strengthening gun storage laws here in Illinois.
And Megan, other states are closely watching what happens here in Illinois with the courts and the assault weapons ban.
Right, so a federal appeals court is currently deciding whether the state and local bans are constitutional, so you can see how gun control advocates, pro-gun rights advocates, and attorney generals from across the country would be interested in that decision.
Right. Megan, thank you.
We have now more from Mayor Rotering. We asked her where she'd like to see her city in 5 years. Here was her response.
I'd like to see us recognizing the true value of what it is to live in a safe country and a safe community, and to be free from this never-ending threat. Wherever you go, at any time, any place, somebody with horrible evil in their heart and a weapon they can buy legally can destroy a community, destroy a family, destroy a human being. We need to be free from that threat. That's what I would love to see, not just in 5 years. Let's start with tomorrow.
So the police chief we talked with earlier, and he said it's impossible for him to not think about it, right? He drives down 2nd and Central every day. And I walked through that area and that intersection this afternoon when we got here, and it is impossible. You walk there and you can't help but think of what happened. And that day will weave through this community for years to come.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the responders here talk about how it is a process. And as we hit 1 year, we know that this community will continue to need support.
Yeah.
And we have to be there to tell the stories, to give them a voice, but also to give them the space as they need it. Well, tomorrow, a mass of healing will be held at Immaculate Conception Church at 5 o'clock, followed by a tree dedication to the victims. We know it wasn't easy for those who shared their stories with us. At the same time, it's another important step, just as Tuesday will be, in an effort to heal and move forward.
We want to thank everyone who made this broadcast possible. They instituted a blackout for the media here in Highland Park, so many of these interviews we did weeks ago so they could have their space before Tuesday. We appreciate all their help. To all of you out there in Chicagoland, we hope you have a happy and healthy 4th of July. Appreciate you joining us here tonight.